Hello everyone, this is Mr. Mahmood here, helping you do better in maths by giving you tips and tricks on how to do well in maths and also going through topics and revising. Today's topic is indices. First of all, we're going to look at the index laws. So let's have a look at the first index law. So we have a to the power m times by a to the power n. So that'll give us, so when we multiply, we add the powers a to the power m plus n. When we divide, a to the power m divided by a to the power n, we take away the powers. So a to the power m take away n. Let's have a look at two examples now. We have 3 to the power of 7 times by 3 to the power of 3. So we're multiplying, so we're going to add the powers. So that will give us 3 to the power of 7 add 3, which is 3 to the power of 10. Let's have a look at a division one. 3 to the power of 7 divided by 3 to the power of 3. So we're going to take away the powers. 3 to the power of 7, take away 3. That'll give us 3 to the power of 4. The next law we're going to look at is the powers of 0 and 1. So if you have a to the power of 0, that will be 1. So anything to the power of 0 will give us 1. So if you have 3 to the power of 0, that will be 1. X to the power of 0, that will be 1. And b to the power of 0, that will be 1. So anything to the power of 0, that will be 1. Now let's have a look at an exam style question. So if we have 3 to the power of 8 times by 3 divided by 3 to the power of 4. Now you probably noticed this 3 here doesn't have any powers. When a number doesn't have any powers on it, we always know that it has a 1. So what you can do is just write that 1 there so that you don't get confused later on. Now according to our rules, multiplication rules, we are going to add the powers first. So simplify the top part first. So we have 3 to the power of 8 added to 3 to the power of 1 times by 3 to the power of 1. That will give us 3 to the power of 9, because when you multiply, you add the powers. Divide that by 3 to the power of 4. Now, according to our division rule, we are going to take away the powers. So we have 3 to the power of 9, take away 4. So that will give us an answer of 3 to the power of 5. Now let's have a look at another exam question. So let's simplify the top section first. So we know that 4 to the power of 0 is going to be 1. So if you times anything by 1, it's going to be itself. So 4 to the power of 6 times by 1 divided by 4 to the power of 3. So that will give us 4 to the power of 6 times by 1 is 4 to the power of 6. And then divided by 4 to the power of 3. Now according to the division rule, we are going to take away the powers. So 4 to the power of 6, take away 3, that will give us 4 to the power of 3. Now let's have a look at another exam question where we have to write it as a single power. So for example, if we have 7 cubed times by 7 to the power of 5, and if the exam question asks you to write it as a single power of 7, so we're going to write it as a single power of 7, that means we need to write it as an index form, okay, as a power of 7. So let's have a look. According to our rule, we need to add the powers. So 7 to the power of 3 added to 5, that'll give us 7 to the power of 8. Now let's have a look at a slightly more difficult exam style question. So we have 3 to the power of n divided by 3 squared times by 3 to the power of 5 is equal to 3 to the power of 4. Now you probably noticed that there is an n there. So what we need to do is find the value of n. Okay. Now first of all, we need to simplify the denominator. So according to our multiplication rule, we know that I need to add the powers. So 3 to the power of n. So 3 to the power of 2 times by 3 to the power of 5 is 2 add 5 is 7. So 3 to the power of 7. That will give us 3 to the power equal to 3 to the power 4. Now, according to our rule, we know that when we divide powers, we take away the powers. So 3 to the power of n take away 7 is equal to 3 to the power of 4. Now, because the base numbers are the same, so we've got 3 here and we've got 3 here, so we can say n minus 7 is equal to 4. And we got an equation, and all we have to do is solve the equation to find n. So we need to add 7 on both sides. Sorry, that was my alarm. And it's 6:45 in the morning. Sorry about that. Okay, so we need to add a 7 on both sides. So we have n is equal to 11. And we found the value of n. The next topic is going to be on negative indices. So please do subscribe so that you can revise these topics just before your exams. Thank you. Mr. Mahmood, helping you do better in maths.